Hey, what's up guys? It's Nate with River City Paintball, and today I'm going to do a video on, I guess, my opinions about the Axe versus Reflex versus Etha versus every other fucking gun that's in that sub $500 mid-level price bracket. Yeah, just going to kind of often give my opinions and weigh the pros and cons of each of the guns, so I can kind of help some people make their own opinions about it. And so we're going to start off with the Axe, number one, and I think it's probably the most popular one on the list. A lot of people use it. It's got a bulletproof design, proven reliability. Yeah, it shoots really nice. Got good air efficiency due to the inline poppet style valve on the gun, and got a lot of people mistake it for a spool valve because of that design, just because it's a single tube, just the body barrel and then the foregrip. But yeah, like I said, it's actually just it's a poppet valve, like the marks of the victories. One of the things I don't like about the Axe, though, is the fact that I shouldn't say none, but there aren't a whole lot of user serviceable parts that are on the gun. So, for example, if you were to buy a brand new Axe and you had to take your reg apart for some reason, that voids your warranty. So if you were to send your gun back to Empire, you have to pay for any kind of repairs that you would need on your gun. So that's one thing I don't like. I like to be able to work on my guns and kind of fix my own problems. Also, I don't really like the fact that it's macroless. Call me a hipster if you want to, but that's just my opinion about macro lines. I mean, I know it looks cool, and a lot of people like to be able to change hands back and forth with it, and it makes it easier. But I don't know. I just like the ability to have an air hose on my gun. Yeah, it's not that it's a bad marker, because I know it's not a bad marker. I mean, especially here in Omaha, everybody and their mom seems to be shooting Axes because Vicious is sponsored by Empire. So I've seen quite a few of them around, and I know that they work really well from what I've seen. And but also, like I said, going back to like the cosmetics of it, or how the gun looks, I think it looks pretty plain for the most part. I think if you put a new barrel or one of those foregrip extenders or a new feed neck on there, it might look pretty awesome. But yeah, overall, good gun, good efficiency, really nice shot, really quiet shot for a poppet. So that's that one. And then now let's do the Reflex, the Purple Reflex. And this is one of my personal favorite ones that are on the list. I love the ergonomics in the Reflex. And my phone's going off. Sorry about that. I love the ergonomics in the Reflex, though. It's pretty on par with that of the NT. It feels really good in your hands, really light. I like the 2012 and 2013 Reflex over the 2011, because I mean, although mechanically they're basically the same gun, but with the 2012 Reflex they updated the trigger and put the new NT ASA on the gun. So that's probably, I want to say, probably 80 bucks in upgrades right there, just out of the box. So that's pretty good. That's the one thing that I didn't. That's the two things I didn't like about the 2011 Reflex, was the trigger and the ASA, and they changed those things. And yeah, I know it's 2013 now, and I mean, the guns have been out for a while, but you're not gonna, if you're gonna buy a new Reflex, I would recommend just spending the money in the 2012 version over the 2013, because there aren't a whole lot of drastic changes to it that would warrant you wanting to buy it over the 2012. Yeah, sorry. And the Reflex, it has pretty good efficiency, what you'd expect from a spool valve. Really quiet shot. It doesn't shoot as soft as a DM would, but then again, a DM has an LPR, so you can kind of fine-tune your shot a little better. But everything else in the gun is pretty awesome for the price. Get a good packaging with it. Two-piece barrel. lube, parts, toolkit, nice case, all that good stuff. So that's one of my favorite ones on the list. Now I'm going to talk about the Etek. I guess I can tie the 3 and 4 in this list too. Weren't a whole lot of changes from the Etek 3 to the Etek 4. One of the things I noticed the most was just they had the 45-degree reg collar on it, and then they had the Oops ASA, which has the macro line going right out of the middle of it, not off to the side. Which I know some people don't like having their reg go off the side of their ASA, or not their reg, but their hose go off the side of their ASA because it scratches up their hand a little bit. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I can see why somebody would think that, because it does kind of get annoying having that little metal thing sticking in your wrist all day. Sorry, I keep coughing, guys. I got a little bit of a cold. Another thing about it is, well, it's a stack tube poppet, which is pretty much just like any other ego out there. You're gonna get pretty good efficiency. The gun's a little bulky. I think it's a little on the heavy side, especially for me. I usually play front or mid, and I like to have a gun that's a little bit more low profile. Shoots really nice though. Gonna get, I want to say about 9 pods off a 6845, which is pretty average for a poppet valve. And it also has it's the only gun on the list that has a low pressure regulator on it. So that's a big plus for me. I like being able to fine tune my shot a little better, as opposed to just having a single reg gun. And that's pretty much it for the Etek. Now let's talk about the MacDev drone. And the MacDev drone is probably my favorite gun in this price bracket. I would even put it on par with like the droids or some of the other MacDev guns that have come out in the past, because I mean the 2012 drone was it was a good gun. It shot really nice. It felt really good in your hands when you shot it. But the one gripe that a lot of people had about it was the fact that the ramping mode on it wasn't exactly PSP legal, or I don't want to say legal, but it wasn't a true PSP mode. Pretty much what you would do is, normal PSP mode is once you fire about 5 shots in semi-automatic, it ramps up to 3-shot bursts for as long as you pull the trigger. But what the PSP mode in the old drone was, you fire a few shots and it would start to ramp, but you have to continually pull the trigger for it to keep going, to stay in the 3-shot mode. Otherwise, it would just go back to semi-auto. So if you're gunfighting with somebody in a match, and they're you shooting PSP, and you had the old drone, they were shooting 3 balls at you while you were only shooting back 1 when you had to come out and snap shoot at them. But they changed that for the 2013 drone, and I think that's going to make this gun sell a shit ton more, because and especially right now at the prices they're at, like I think ASQ has them for like $400 or $420, $430 bucks, something like that. I think that's pretty unbeatable, especially for a gun like that with the new ramp mode and everything. I would pretty much put that on par with a droid, or maybe not quite I wouldn't say a clone. I would go that far, because the clone's got the laser eyes and the OLED board in it too. So yeah, but I don't know, Drone DX, good gun. I would highly recommend that one. Now we're going to talk about the Etha, the Planet Eclipse Etha. And the Etha is like, the way Jack Wood described it was that it's got some features of an inline poppet, but it's got features of a spool valve gun as well. Because the poppet would come from the aspect that there's a spring on the bolt, obviously, but then he said there was some features about it that were pretty comparable to a spool valve gun. So I'm not really sure how to classify that. I would say it's kind of a hybrid of sorts. But yeah, this one's going to be the cheapest on the list, because it's more meant for entry-level players. Still shoots good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using brittle paint with it though. Like if you're using like Ultra Evil or some high-quality tournament-grade paint, I don't, because it's not meant to shoot that. And when Planet Eclipse was making the gun, they even said that the people that are going to be buying this probably aren't going to be spending a lot of money on the best type of paint they can buy. So you want to shoot like a mid-grade paint, through that. So then I think you'll find that it'll shoot a lot better, because it's not the most gentle shot by any means at all. But one thing I do like though that Planet Eclipse did with it is the fact that if you open up the grip panel on the Etha, there's a little note card inside there with each colors of the LED that's on the board. So, and it tells you what each of the colors mean. So if you ever forget, all you can do is just look at that little reference card and set your gun up the way you want to. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice little idea. I know Virtue kind of did something like that, but this is the first time I've ever actually seen something like that put on a gun. The LED, nice bright LED display, so you know what you're gonna be set at and all that good stuff. You got good packaging that comes with it. It's got a lot of composite parts on it though. I know that might turn some people off, but I personally actually think it makes the gun a lot lighter. Obviously composite because it's not aluminum, but it still shoots really nice. Got a good two-piece barrel that comes with it. I think the grips are a little hard, but that's a small complaint. But you get the Oops ASA. It's on the Etek, so you get the hose coming right out of the middle of the ASA. You got the same rag that's on the Etek and all that good stuff. So you're getting a little bits and pieces of better quality parts that are on the gun, and a $400 marker. And finally, we're going to talk about the Dangerous Power Fusion. I know Dangerous Power has a horrible reputation when it comes to customer service, and so that's going to be a huge red flag if you do end up buying a Dangerous Power gun. Just kind of keep that in mind. And also, one of the cool things about the FX though is that it's the only gun in this list that has an OLED board, but and it's made by the same people that make the Rampage boards, which is pretty cool. But the board is a little complicated to work with, so it is going to take some kind of fucking around and practicing with it to actually figure out what the settings are and everything. It's a poppet valve. It's a stock tube poppet like the Etek, and a lot of people might mistake that the front end of the gun there is an LPR on it, but it's not. That's not an LPR. It's just a volumizer, like what was on the Angels, or what some of the older Spider guns used to have. So it's gonna be just one regulator. You're not gonna be able to like fine tune your shot like in a super specific way. Comes with a two-piece barrel. I think it's like a 16-inch barrel or something like that. But yeah, just watch out for when you're buying a Dangerous Power gun, because you're not going to get really that great customer service at all. And that's pretty much it for my 2 cents or my opinions about that whole price bracket. I hope that kind of answered some questions. If you think there's anything I missed, just send me a message or comment on this video. God, I'm sorry guys. And you guys want me to make any more videos about any kind of topics you want, just let me know. So for now, that's about it. Thanks for watching.